Hi everyone, my name is Agnes, and my story is about how I fell into a tough billionaire's trap. I guess I was the only one who could have screwed up like that because I wanted easy money, and there usually isn't any to be had. My story began a long time ago with my love of money. Even as a little girl, I realized that you don't go anywhere without money and you can't make yourself happy. I lived with my grandmother for many years because I have no parents. My grandmother wasn't poor, but she wasn't rich either. She had her own house, a store, and lived in it. I always helped her, and then she passed away and she left all her inheritance to me alone. I twisted and turned, rented out the store as I had no time to work there myself. I used the money to live on, pay my school fees, and I was pretty much fine. I always had friends, Steve and Melanie. They're brother and sister. They were very good at helping me when I needed them. And then one day, they came to my house to get me out of my depression, and it was because my store was in trouble. The wiring had burned out and there was a fire. Part of my store burned down. Of course, I had insurance, but it only covered a small portion of the losses, and the purchase of refrigerators and merchandise was left to me. I had no idea what money I was going to use to rebuild it, so I just shut myself in the house to grieve and think things over. But my friends were determined to keep me on my toes. Steve and Melanie came in early in the morning.
"Open the door for us, you goat. We're not leaving."
"Go away. I don't have time. I'm in the middle of self-abuse."
"That's why we're here."
"Yep, I didn't ask for it. Go away."
"Okay, on the count of 3, Steve kicks down the door. 1, 2...
"You're really going to ruin more of my house. I don't have money to rebuild the door, too." Anyway, there was nothing to do. I decided it would be cheaper to stay with them and let them in. I looked terrible. The guy's stressed out. Melanie sat down on the bed, and I went back under the covers. "Are you just going to keep hanging out here? The store won't fix itself. Don't you have any savings at all?" "Just yesterday, I paid all the bills with the last of my money." "Take out a loan." "Too expensive." "Yeah, it'll take a couple of years, but you'll rebuild the store quickly and it'll be profitable faster. You'll save money. Well, there's nothing else to do without complications." Thanks for the advice, which I already knew. "What if we let tenants in?" "How?" "You have a big house. You can give at least one room to a good tenant. You'll get decent money, find somebody who works, make a contract, and that'll be your extra income." "What if he kills me or robs me?" "Anything of value can be hidden in a bank, in safe deposit boxes, money in the same place, and you can install cameras in the house and on the street. I'll help. I've got a friend who installs them. He'll give you a discount." "I like it. Can you guys help too?" We calculated the approximate amount I'd make each month if I were to rent the garage and a room out. That would be enough for me to rebuild the store. I figured I'd take 3 months' rent in advance and get the store up and running that way. So we did. Steve set up hidden cameras in the house and garage and yard. Melanie helped with the customer interviews. We found families with children who were too noisy, girls with questionable earnings, men who looked like gangsters. It was all wrong. I had already lost hope, and then one just unreal handsome guy in an expensive suit entered. "Hello, is there a room for rent?" "Yes, and you? Why are you here?" "Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is William, and I'm looking for a room for a while." "Oh, I'm sorry, but I need it for at least 3 months. "Do you need the money?" "Excuse me?" "You don't look like you want to live in the same house with strangers." "I don't look like that either. The thing is, I have a house, but it's not livable right now, and my work is very close to you. All the apartments here are already rented out for 6 months in advance, and I would like to live at least a month. Your place would suit me perfectly, especially with a garage, just for my Porsche." "Just for what?" "I won't be a nuisance. I'm always at work. I do come in a little late, but I won't bother you. I'm not home for dinner either, so I won't take up the kitchen. I'll pay what you want." "But like I said, I need someone to stay for at least 3 months, so..." "That's fine with me. I'll pay you 4 times that for 1 month. I'm very comfortable with your location." Can I talk to my friends about this?" "Yeah, no problem. I'll just wait outside." As soon as he went out, Melanie and I looked at each other. She said it was my good fortune. I found him suspicious, but Melanie said she would let him live with her for free just because he was so handsome.
It's your luck. Don't blow it. I'll just come and visit you more often.
That's not enough. Is the car even real? I checked the plates. It has his name on it. It's clean.
He looks like a millionaire.
Billionaire.
What?
It says here that he's the son of the richest businessman in our county. They're billionaires.
So he's not lying. Say yes! How else are you going to cover all your debts in 1 month?
So I said yes. William came with 1 suitcase and a couple of suits. I showed him the house and he paid me for 4 months, as promised. We didn't see each other for the first few days. He was a really comfortable roommate. You couldn't see or hear him. He would only come to bed and leave again. I managed to get everything done at the store and get it started. On the 4th day, I decided to celebrate, cook dinner for myself, and open some wine. Unexpectedly, William came home early. I felt uncomfortable and invited him to have dinner with me. He agreed. Over dinner, we got to talking and he complimented me on my fish. Word after word, and we talked. It turned out that Steve was right. William was very rich, working, but couldn't live at home because of a fight with his father. I told him my story about the store, and then he asked me if I wanted to make more money. How? My finance company is having a good period right now. We have our own customer base that we work with. People make a deposit, we put the money in circulation for 1 month, and then the client takes back everything they put in, plus great interest from us.
How decent.
So good that you can buy a car like mine in a month.
What? Is that a trick?
The bigger the amount, the bigger the score.
And how much do you have to invest to make that kind of money?
In your case, the house and your store we were talking about would do.
Oh no, that's too risky.
Whatever, I'm here. I live with you. I can give you advice anytime. He left, and I was left alone with my thoughts. The next day, while I was at the appliance store, I got a call from my store. There had been a flood. A hot water pipe had burst. All that was going through my head at the time was a wild scream. I was all over the place again. I called Melanie and Steve, but they had gone to another country with their dad by that time. I had no one else to call, so William came over. He helped sort out all the legal stuff, found the culprit, and made him cover most of the expenses, but it still wouldn't be enough to rebuild the store completely. Then we went home and William offered to pay for everything. I refused, saying I couldn't take it. Then he said I'd give it back when the money came back in. So I agreed. We saved my business again, but I felt uneasy at the thought that I had strained this man. A little later, I approached him and asked for a deal on my house and business. William did all the paperwork right at my house the next day, and I temporarily transferred all rights to the property to him, according to the agreement. We even celebrated the occasion. William brought in food from a restaurant, and it was so nice. I suddenly wanted to kiss him, and there was this spark between us. In a few days, I didn't even recognize myself. I was so happy. Money was being made, and I was just waiting for it. William and I spent the evenings together. He drove me around in his car, and everything was perfect. After 1.5 weeks, when I woke up in the morning, I got a call from some man from court notifying me to move out of my house within 2 hours. What, is this some kind of joke? Why? Your house now belongs to another person. Yes, but it's temporary. The court will decide that if you file a petition. What petition? It's my house. And your store, it doesn't belong to you anymore either. I ran to William's room, but he was gone. And so were his things and his car. He wasn't answering his phone or his messages, but Melanie and Steve arrived. They had heard about what had happened from their parents. Word had already got out to them. It turned out that this William was really the son of that billionaire, only he was illegitimate. The car wasn't his, and he was a crook who had left me without a house or a business. I'm living at Melanie's now, while I'm thinking about what to do next. So guys, don't be as gullible as I was. Hi everyone, my name is Gwen. My sister Sarah is terribly jealous of my boyfriend Rick because our relationship seems perfect to her, not like hers. But jealousy is a bad trigger for anything, especially in a relationship between sisters, but she didn't realize it at the time. My sister and I met guys almost at the same time. We met them at a club. Rick and Billy had been friends since childhood. Yeah, and it was so funny how we paired up to go out. Even though Billy and Rick were such close friends, they were totally different. One had only rabid adventures on his mind. He was a flighty but really fun company spirit. Rick was more quiet and calm, just like me. We loved to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and just enjoy the silence and the night sky. At first, Sarah always said her boyfriend was the best because we were boring. I didn't pay attention to what she said because, to each his own, I met my soulmate and she met hers. What's wrong with that? But after 4 months, everything changed. One day, my sister came up to me all in tears, very upset. "What's wrong, Sarah?"
It's everything. Billy, I hate him.
"What did he do?"
We got in a fight over a stupid party.
"At Dylan's?"
Yeah.
"What about it?"
Well, you know Billy and Rick are hanging out with that Dylan guy. He invited all of us.
"Yeah, and Rick and I decided not to go."
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to go either because of last time. Do you remember how it all ended?
"Of course I remember. I'll never forget when Billy got in a fight with Dylan's dad because he and Dylan were drunk, and the cops showed up. That's why we're not going there anymore."
But Billy wants to. He says it won't happen again, but I know it will. That's the way he is. He just wants to hang out and party. He doesn't know how to live in peace and quiet.
"And that's why you fought?"
I told him I wasn't going. And then I told him I was sick of it. And he said I must be boring like you and Rick and told me to go hang out with you two.
She was crying so hard, I didn't have the heart to tell her to go away. I just said that maybe he would change his mind. But no, he didn't. And my sister didn't either. Anyway, she eventually went with him to that stupid party. And of course, it ended badly. Sarah called me in the middle of the night and asked me to pick her up. When Rick and I got there was this horror of Billy standing there completely drunk, openly flirting with some other girl, and my sister standing in the street crying. Rick wanted to go to talk to him and he was angry, but I wouldn't let him. We picked Sarah up and drove home. On the way, Rick brought her a huge poppy, coffee, and some chocolate to cheer her up. "And this is for you, Mouse." "What is it? A surprise?"
Aw, how sweet. Thank you, darling.
I kissed him on the cheek as he got behind the wheel. My sister in the back seat wiped away her tears, ate a burger, and then thanked me.
Thank you guys for coming to get me and everything.
"You're welcome. Glad to help."
I didn't think you guys were so nice,
she told me when we walked into our house. "What are you talking about?"
I mean, I really always thought you guys were boring, and now Rick bought me food, and you got kinder. Man, I haven't had kindness in 20 years.
You're only 17.
I mean, that's nice of you to say. Billy never did that kind of thing. He thought it was okay to eat at home, but not buy me chocolates or flowers. He'd rather try to get a place at some free party where you could eat or drink for free. You have no idea how many houses I visited with him in those 4 months. And then I got sick of it all.
It happens when you have nothing to talk about in a quiet environment. When your interests converge only at parties, sooner or later, it'll come out.
But why? Why am I so unlucky?
Why? Weren't you happy?
I was, but I wish I'd been happier, like you and Rick.
That's why we're making an effort to be happy together.
How?
We have things to talk about, or just be quiet together. We are nice and cozy together, and we both don't like noise. Maybe that's the problem. I talked to my sister all night long. She wouldn't let up on why she got such a shitty boyfriend and I got such a good one. I tried to explain that everyone was attracted to something different, but she denied it. And then Sarah suddenly blurted out that she'd been jealous of Rick and I for a long time. I was surprised, and she said that she had actually always wanted a relationship like ours.
Can you show me how to date?
What?
Well, I'll just go on 2 dates with you and I'll figure it out. Maybe it'll help fix things with Billy.
Well, okay. I could tell by the look on Rick's face that he really didn't like the idea, but he was embarrassed to say no to a girl whose heart had been broken less than 24 hours ago, so he agreed. We went to the movies, then decided to go rollerblading. The whole time, Sarah was watching our every move intently, and at the movie theater, she sat between us. When we were skating, she kept grabbing Rick's hand and asking him to hold on to her because she didn't know how to skate. And that's when I figured it out, because she's been skating better than me since she was a kid.
I took her to the bathroom and told her everything, and she started crying. Like so-and-so, even her sister didn't want her. I felt ashamed and embarrassed and decided to try to forget about it. I thought that was it. But Sarah was already up and running the next day. That day, Rick and I were planning a shopping trip.
I'm in. Can I come?
I thought it was just yesterday. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how couples go shopping. And I have some shopping to do too. So Rick and I ended up following Sarah around the boutiques. She tried on gaudy dresses, and each time she asked Rick if he liked them. Why are you asking him and not me? He's a guy. He should know. I can too. You look like a bitch. No one wears cleavage like that anymore. Come on, Gwen. You've got nothing to show for it, and I've got everything to show for it. I freaked out and took Rick's hand and told him we were leaving. I resented her and used that as an excuse to leave. I didn't talk to her at home either. Then Sarah made Rick and I dinner, which she cooked herself. I didn't want to say yes to it, but he was so apologetic that we accepted her invitation. Rick brought a cake along and we had a good time. Sarah bought some wine and we just casually relaxed and drank. Good thing my parents weren't home. Next, we decided to play a game, Twister. We were freaking out like crazy. And then I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I saw them kissing. I was shocked. Rick pulled away from her, but I didn't want to see either of them anymore. I screamed, I cried. I was terribly hurt and betrayed. I couldn't believe that they had done this to me. My own sister and my boyfriend. The whole of the next week was misery because I avoided Sarah and I didn't answer Rick's calls. I ran into Billy on the way to the store one day and he asked me how Sarah was, and I told him everything as it was. Then he suggested I get my revenge. How?
Kiss me. Send a picture to both of them. Let them know.
And then he came in hard on my lips, but I pushed him away and slapped him in the face and walked away. It was a nightmare. And then I had another surprise waiting for me at home. There was Rick on my doorstep.
Is this how we resolve things? You didn't even ask me what happened. Your sister jumped me and you walked in on her. And now you're doing this?
What are you talking about? And he showed me a picture of Billy and I kissing.
What? How did you get that? I get it. You decided to switch with your sister too? Is this some kind of game? I'm not a part of this, okay?
Wait, he kissed me, but I slapped him and didn't kiss him back. I met him by chance on the way to... Although, wait. Someone took that picture. Is Sarah home? How did you get here?
Sarah texted me that you were ready to talk.
But I didn't tell her that, and so we figured it out. We went straight to Billy's house and found the lovebirds in the living room. They were looking at pictures and laughing, and Sarah was talking loudly about how dumb we were in the park with Rick. And then there was a scandal. Rick got in a fight with Billy, kicked his ass, and I yelled at Sarah. That couple got bored and decided to amuse themselves by getting into our relationship and testing its strength. You can't do that. It's been a month since then. I moved in with Rick so I wouldn't have to see my sister. My parents were told that Rick had proposed to me, and we decided to live together, and they said yes. Tell me guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.